Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, May 14th, 11 p.m. Mountain Time 2021. The models are in. Heavy snow for the west. We're talking deep, deep, and deeper just in the next 10 days. But the big story, severe weather possible through much of the next week. What a tweak for the mid-Craton. Keep calm. It's boom time. Oklahoma is at the crosshairs for the first event, and we're talking Texona. On Saturday, mostly cloudy with highs near 80, and then threats of hail up to golf ball size, damaging winds, gusts of 60 to 80. To add insult to injury, severe storms likely for Casper area this weekend in the Wyoming. National Weather Service in Riverton says there's a likelihood for severe weather for the Casper area this weekend, so heads up in Casper. Like a schmasper. Weekend severe weather update for the South Plains. It's insane. Oklahoma, Kansas. The nexus of the schmexus. You know Texas is going to be in there. Rain and snow possible this weekend for Lake Tahoe. Say it ain't so. New York City is averaging more heat because they put the stations in hotter places, and more snow because the earth is getting colder and it's snowing more. Cosmic rays much. Tornadoes in Colorado. This is Hail Alley, but now it may be shifting with the magnetosphere. I guess the dust devils grew up. Who knew? Historic cold spreads across the U.S., breaking low temperature records from the 1880s. For days, people around the country have been reporting on how cold it is in their region, and it's not because they're making it up. It's because it's what we predicted 4 years ago to be happening at this time, and it's true. With the official start of summer less than 40 days away, an unseasonably cold air mass is currently gripping large areas of the United States. That's our fates. Dropping temperatures some 25 degrees Fahrenheit below seasonal averages. As reported by CNN Weather, these temperatures are more in line with what you should expect in mid-March, not mid-May. Hey. During this latest Arctic outbreak, which began May 9th, hundreds of low-temperature records have tumbled, increasing the disparity between the number of new record highs this year and the new record lows. What say you? South Carolina's capital city of Columbia suffered a historically cold Wednesday. The city, whose slogan is famously hot, surprisingly cool, experienced an unprecedented level of cool with a daytime high in the 50s. Note, the previous low temperature record for the day has been standing for over 100 years. The 66 Fahrenheit from May 12, 1917, back in the centennial minimum, was crushed. May highs in the 50s in Columbia are so rare that they have only been observed 5 times since 1887. In May, ever. According to CNN Weather, such temperatures in May may come around once every 3 decades or more. Augusta, Georgia busted its daily record too, one which stood since 1885. The city's Wednesday high reached the mid-60s, reading 25 degrees below the May average. Headed north to Atlanta, the usual mid-May highs of 80-degree heat had been replaced with wintry cold. How bold is that? Highs are only reaching the low 60s again, reading some 20 degrees below the norm. And after checking with the record books, it is revealed that there have only been 10 days this late in the season that have failed to reach 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So the southeast is chilling like a beast. Grand solar minimum much? The global temperature says the same thing. Same temperature as back in 1983 in the spring. Ding, dang. Global warming? I doubt it. Snow water equivalent in the northern hemisphere also showing us what's actually happening. This is the amount of snow water in the northern hemisphere. Well above the multi-decadal average, well above the norm. Look at that. Well above. And Michelin expands its X-Ice snow weather tires with 44 new sizes to cover every type of automobile across the planet. Why in the world would a multinational corporation like Michigan be making snow tires? Crickets? Scattered severe thunderstorms and developing flood risks in the central U.S., fire weather in the west, like the best. Scattered severe thunderstorms are expected across portions of the central and southern high plains this weekend. Elevated to critical fire weather conditions are forecast across parts of the western U.S. from today into Monday. Heavy rainfall is forecast from the western Gulf Coast into the Midwest from this weekend, much of the next week. Like a twig. Can you believe that? Can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. Danger! Flat Earth! I'm sure you can see that. It's one of our new fantastical shirts. Now, let's take a look at the GFS model here. Here is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when the system is moving in. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 feet of snow in western Montana. 3 feet of snow in Idaho in the north. And let's just walk it through here. Take a look at this. I wonder if I can shrink that down a little bit for you guys. Yes. So here we go. Wednesday, snow moving up through Canada. And the snow's going to move into the west coast here on Thursday. There's your Thursday all day. Here's your Friday morning. Heavy snow moves into north Idaho, central Idaho. Look at that snow moving in there. Saturday, it's going to be hitting western Montana, western Wyoming. Here's your Sunday through your Monday. That is 4 feet of snow, huge areas of 2 to 3 feet. Oh my goodness. The global warming goodness. Seismic update. No quakes of note except at Sinabung, where we've seen huge uptick in the volcanic activity, puffs to 40, 35, 40,000 feet, multiple events, and that's what's happening there with this cacophony of quakes. Do you hear it? And multiple quakes worldwide, but nothing of significance like it's happening at Sinabung. Sinabung Volcano advisory issued 36 hours ago to 40,000 feet, flight level 500, which means 50,000. This was downgraded due to subsequent facts that we provided. But a secondary eruption to 35,000 feet was definitely confirmed, as it is confirmed here on the data set. If I could just find it. No, it's all the way at the bottom. Sinabung boom. Flight level 350, that's 30,000 feet, high-level eruption. So multiple high-level eruptions coming from Sinabung after the G3 KP7 geomagnetic storm that we just experienced for 6 hours, 24 hours ago. Now, to tantalize you with some tidbits, here is the activity in Iceland, which has been upticking ever since the beginning months ago. And now the main fissure eruption, fissure number 5, is eclipsing. Remember Bob? It looks just like Bob, only it's 10 times bigger. And it is shooting fountains 5,000 meters into the sky at regular intervals. Let's take a look. Sorry about the little commercial interruption. No. Absolutely spectacular drone footage that we're witnessing here. You hear the tephra hitting the drone. Yeah, they're doing a great job over at the Reykjavik Grapevine. Check them out on YouTube. Spectacular footage. Splendiferous. Insano-matic. Fantastical. Superfluous. Geologiciferic. In splash sanity. Volcanorific. Holy macarolic. Boom timey. Right on timey. Holy Jesus. Gosh, that's amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Please come over to the Reykjavik Grapevine. Give them a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Tell them Diamond sent you. This is the biggest up-and-coming channel in Iceland, doing the most incredible videography of the eruption. More updates from Iceland. May 13th, earthquake activity in Bartobunga Volcano. Insano. An earthquake with magnitude 3.5 occurred in the normal area of Bartobunga volcano caldera. There has been inflation happening since 2014-ish. And so we're keeping a close eye on all the volcanic activity on the continent, because when the Reykjanes Ridge historically erupts every 800 years, which it has, for the first time in 800 years, another large volcano on the continent also erupts. So there's that's that information. And we're also going to take a quick look at the Reykjanes Peninsula earthquakes during the last 48 hours. And you can see a small amount of microseismicity here happening just moments ago. So, well, that's actually 12 hours ago. But it has to do with the uptick in the output of the volcano. There is an uptick, almost doubling of the amount of lava coming out in the last 2 months. So this has been an ongoing eruption for months now, and it's ever increasing. So that should be noted. And there's other activity on the continent that we should be worried about. Now, Space Weather News Update. Take a looky here. We're over at solarham.net, and we've just coming off of a KP7 G3 geomagnetic storm that lasted for 6 hours. Since then, we've had some moderate B flares, a long duration B flare here, and then a tiny little low mag B flare. Since then, some small CMEs headed towards Earth potentially, but nothing significant. But what is significant is a potentially large active region is about 3, now 2.5 days away from reaching the east limb, based on imagery courtesy of Stereo Ahead, which is the back of the sun. It does appear to be fairly active, and we'll get a better look beginning early next week. And you can compare it to 2822, which provided us with that, or 2823 as well. 2822 provided us with that 1-2 punch CME plus the filament. And you see how much brighter that region is. Quite significant. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Keep an eye on the prize. Here's why the world could be facing massive sand crisis. Well, because we use sand, and there's also something called longshore drift, which takes sand from Maine and moves it all the way down to Florida. So we constantly have to be replacing sand on these seashore communities while they're also mining sand. So they're taking sand away while they're also moving sand. And the amount of building and the use of sand in industry has increased 3-fold. And the planet cannot keep up with this. We're going to have to start importing sand from areas where there are no humans, which is going to be, well, cost a little bit more money. But that's why we could be facing a massive sand crisis, which in my opinion could be easily fixed by figuring out how to melt down recycled glass and plastics to be using as building materials. These schmucks don't even want to spend a second on actual practical science where we could actually be fixing the problem. They just want to gobble up natural resources as fast as they can because they're free. All you have to do is buy the acreage and you own it. Basically that simple. Now, a mysterious, devastating brain disorder is afflicting dozens in one Canadian province, and it's pretty creepy. For years, the neurologist in Montco, New Brunswick, has seen patients with symptoms common of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, a fatal brain disorder that affects 1 in 1 million. But in this area, it is highly prevalent, and it's been going on for decades, and they don't know why. So, just a heads up on that. Freshly made plutonium from outer space found on the ocean floor. Bear with me, I gotta let the dog in. Gremlin is safe and secure. Al Gore's a bore. Freshly made plutonium from outer space found on the ocean floor. Who knew? Now, traces of rare forms of iron and plutonium have been found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. These are indicative of supernova deposits from outside of our celestial sphere, but they could have come from our sun as early as 6 million years ago, which is a complete shift into the Eocene, about 5.4, 5.7 million. But geologically speaking, these events are now becoming proven to have happened. Supernovas, micronovas, other novas in outer space affect our planet, and there are deposits on the surface. So, one day at a time, one thing at a time, you can do it, because the empire is about to end. Launch update. The Black Brant 12 launch is now rescheduled for the 11th time, no earlier than Saturday, May 15th, with the window opening at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. This is going to simulate a grid-down scenario, EMP, super auroral CME event, because NASA is picking up what we're putting down, and they're now studying it because they are going to save their own asses, like the masses. One of the greatest, newest YouTube channels is Happy Birdseeds, and they only have 25 subscribers. 22 today until I hit that like button. And once I subscribed, 3 people figured it out. But we need 100 people right now to click subscribe at Happy Birdseed on YouTube. Do it now. If you're not, do a dab. But either way, do both. Are you picking it up? We just put it down. The greatest website in the universe is happybirdseed.com. Happybirdseed.com is renaming medicinal plants, repurposing, and regenetifying for your benefit. The cannabis sativa seed. The cannabis indica seed into the cannabis awesomeness for your pleasure. At the lowest prices in the universe, why wouldn't you want to fly higher with Happy Bird Seed? Colorado grown, happybirdseed.com. Tell them Diamond sent you, because I get free seeds. If you listened to me just a few days ago, I'm going to put my Polygon. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to link you to my Polygon account where you can just tip me some Polygon. I told you all to buy Polygon 5 days ago at 71 cents. And if you just put 1,000 in there, you'd have now $2,500 in 5 days. There is no financial information that's as bombastic as that. Cardano much? Polygon was the big move, and if you got in, you owe me. Period. Because there's a danger of falling off the flat earth. It's dangerous. So watch yourself. Also, magnetic, what have they injected you with? It's magnetic. Check out the video I put up on Rumble. And please subscribe over here. Do it. Or else.
It's vaxxed or masked.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Hope you got something out of the video. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in the dystopian world that we live in. Thanks to all our one-time donors, our Patreons, the heroes that share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Comment below. Like the video. And for goodness sakes, go to happybirdseed.com already. What are you waiting for? And that's a boom to knowledge. We love each and every one of you. Our one-time donors, our Patreons, the people that share this video. You're the hero. It's not me. I do this out of love for you. What's your contribution?